Dear Emery, I hope you're enjoying watching these videos, sweetheart, as much as I am enjoying walking and talking and spending this time for you, with you. This is part of my legacy. This is my way for me to take what's here in my mind, 50 plus years on this planet. I've been an entrepreneur for 32, in high-level athletic coaching, hockey, tennis for 22 years. My experience as a father, as a husband, as an entrepreneur, I want to take what's here and give it to you. I want to share any wisdom that I have. I want to share with you what I would do differently. I want to share with you my wins, my losses, anything and everything that can help you build the personal world and professional world of your dreams. Build your world, not my world, not your mom's world, not some other world that you are not interested in. What do you really want? What do you really want? And go after it. No half-assing it. No half-assing it. Decide what you want. Make it your North Star. Make it your personal mission. And go for it. All in, all the way. All in, all the way. No half-assing it. So today I want to talk to you about one of my 3 daily musts, non-negotiable behaviors. And this behavior has probably had more positive impact on my personal life and my business life than anything else. If somebody asks me, what's the number one thing you've done, Michael, in the last 21, 22 years that has transformed your life and your business into a world that you never need to escape from, I would answer this behavior, this daily behavior. It's not my road work. It's not my 15,000 steps per day. That's critical. It's not my hour of copywriting and writing for money, Operation Money Suck. It's the third prong. It's the third non-optional behavior that I've executed for the last 22 years. I never, ever, ever, ever miss, no matter what. And that is, I read and I study real books, real newsletters, paper and ink information for 60 minutes per morning. No more, no less. Actually, sometimes a little bit more. It depends, but minimum 1 hour per day. Absolutely has been, good morning. Absolutely has been a game changer for your dad. It's admittedly, I didn't read a book. I did not read a single book until I had graduated from university. Think about that for a minute. I went to public school. I went to university for 5 years. I coached hockey all through university. I ended up with a degree, and I never, ever, ever read a complete book in high school or in university. I imagine in elementary school I read some of those 3 or 4 page run spot run books, but other than that, yours Relentless had never ever read a book until age 24. So not proud of the fact that I was not a reader. I was a shortcut guy. I was a Kohl's Note guy. I was a try to slide by guy. in university and in high school. I wasn't interested in learning about those things. I was interested in coaching hockey. I was interested in playing hockey. I was interested in playing tennis. I was interested in anything but reading. So it's amazing how, starting at age 24, age 25, I went from a non-reader. 99% of people in the world today are non-readers. 99% of Americans and Canadians will not read one single book this year. That explains a lot, doesn't it? Deep as a puddle. How in the world can we have any thoughts? Can we have any intellect? Any valued opinion on things? How can we be deep thinkers? How can we be writers? How can we journal? How can we grow as human beings if we never ever read? And this has been the number one game changer for me. And it all started back when I was 24, 25, when I saw a book by the great Dan Kennedy, one of my first business mentors. And the book was called No BS Business Success. No BS Business Success. It's the first business book that any entrepreneur should order and read. It's on my top 25 must-read list. The great thing about this book, when I saw it advertised in a magazine, is it had Kennedy sitting on a bull in the Arizona desert. That was his no BS theme. So I thought, here's this, big guy with the handlebar mustache, no BS, kick butt, take no prisoners. So I looked, and the book was like, I don't know, $16 maybe, $15. So even I could afford that at the time, and I was a broke young man at the time, and I certainly wasn't spending my money on books. But something about this book spoke to me. Something about Kennedy's message spoke to me. So I ordered the book, and I'll never forget this as long as I live. I went out to the mall, and it was shipped, so I had to pick it up at the drugstore, and the post office was in the back of the drugstore. And I got one of those cards in the mail to come and pick up a special parcel. So I did exactly that, and I went in and I got the parcel, which was the book. And I'll never forget going back and sitting in the truck in the parking lot at the mall, and I tore off the cover, and I was interested in the book, but I didn't think it was going to be a game changer for me. So I opened up the envelope, and my life literally changed. I looked at the cover of this book, No BS Business Success, kick butt, take no prisoners, a balls to the wall success book for business owners. I'd never heard anybody write like that. I had never seen anybody communicate like that outside of sports. Your dad was a coach at the time. I'd been coaching junior hockey, AAA hockey, junior B hockey. So I had never heard anybody talk like this outside of the locker room. So I thought it was the most outstanding thing ever. And a spark that day was lit. A spark that day was lit that turned into a little smoldering fire, and then it turned into a small blaze, and then it has turned into, over the last 20 plus years, into an absolutely roaring inferno. A roaring inferno. I have read over 2,000 books. I have thousands and thousands and thousands of books in my personal library, all physical paper and ink books. I subscribe to multiple newsletters. It's just insane the amount that I read in a typical day, week, and month. And really, I mean, thanks to that first Dan Kennedy book, I have become a book addict. I replace some of my negative behaviors with positive. We all have what I call addictions. We're all hardwired for addiction, and most people are cell phone junkies. Most people are white sugar junkies, addicts. Most people are addicted to drugs or, good morning guys, or alcohol, gambling, anything and everything that's negative. But one of the things that changed my life, and this is why reading became such a positive addiction in my life, is I couldn't put it down. So I read that little business book. It was only 100 pages, if it was that, and I could afford it, and I was hooked for life. I was like, that's my drug. I literally get a high from reading material like that. So this was all brand new for me. I'd never read a book, never ordered a book, never paid for a book. So this was all new to me. But man, did it crack open my mind. My mind was closed, and this single book, cracked open your dad's mind. And I had never really, studied any marketing. I'd never really studied business other than watching your grandfather, run company after company. And it just cracked open my mind. And then after that, I couldn't get enough. I was literally saving up $15, $20 to get Kennedy's next book. No BS time management, no BS sales. Those were the first 3 tiny books that I bought from him that I've literally read 25 times each. I 25x'd each of those 3 books. And if you don't read any books on business, if those are the only books you do read on business, I would have to say those are my top 3 books for anyone, including you, that is even considering a life in business, is even considering starting a company, is even considering a life of entrepreneurship. I'm going to get you to read those books before you even, before you even watch these videos. But for the men who are watching as well, if there's 3 books that you want to share with your teenager or your adult children, or read yourself, that will give you an idea of, the absolute basic fundamentals in business, in sales, and in time management. Those are the 3 books, good morning, that I do recommend the most. No BS business success, no BS sales success, and no BS time management. That book alone changed the entire way I operate my life and my world. So it's an interesting story that we've told you a few times, but your dad, Emery, started reading to you before you were born. Yes, in the womb. Yours, Relentless, was reading to you when you were in your mom's stomach. We had this book, this big hardback book, and I would read to you with my loud, deep voice, and Mommy would lie in our bed, and I would read for 5 minutes every night, and literally she would feel you kicking her inside her stomach. And anybody who doesn't understand that how important this is, that a child in the womb is well on their way. They're starting to develop. They're developing physically, but they're also developing mentally and emotionally, and that they can hear what's going on outside, especially deep, loud noises. So Krista read somewhere that, we should be reading to your child before they're born. So what's to lose, right? I'm like, sounds strange, but I'm a badass dad, so I'm going to do it. So that's what we did. We started reading the last couple months. Every night we would go in there in the bedroom and Krista would lie down and I would read this same book over and over to you day after day. And you, in total Emery form, would kick your mother. Like you were like, it was like, I could envision a smile on your face. I could envision excitement, you moving your arms and just kicking away because you were enjoying the sounds and the story. So your love of reading, we wanted to develop as soon as possible. Of all the things we've tried as parents, and I hope that most of them have worked, the number one thing that your mom and I agree on is besides developing self-esteem. To me, that's number one. A person with high self-esteem, a person with solid self-esteem is going to make the right decisions more often than not in their life when they're on their own. Self-esteem is critical. You can't build self-esteem with 8th place trophies. You can't build self-esteem with attaboys and attagirls and pats on the back. That's not how you build self-esteem. We've built self-esteem in you by challenging, I repeat, challenging you to do things that are extremely hard, that you're not certain you can do. And then when you accomplish them, you say, wow, I didn't think I could do that, but I could. That is how you build self-esteem. Challenge, demand. Oh my God, I didn't think I could do it, but I can. Maybe I can do this. If I can do that, maybe I can do this. Look at that beautiful sunrise behind me. Wow. So we tried to instill a love of reading and learning in you. That next to self-esteem, Mommy and I, that's been our number one thing, is to inspire you to be a voracious reader, to love books, to love not just reading, but to love books, to be like Daddy and Mommy. Our house is full of books. Like yesterday, we got, we had 3 books delivered to our home here in Naples. The guy shows up, there's 3 of those padded envelopes. You opened one, I opened one, and Mommy opened one. Book, and book. And I have to thank our friend Dan Leonis, the founder and creator of the Einstein Blueprint, for reminding me of the importance of environment. So what we did in our house, and we took it to a new level, is books everywhere. You're growing up immersed and surrounded in books. We have books in all the bathrooms. We have books in all the bedrooms. We have books in the kitchen. We have books. It drives your mommy crazy. We have books everywhere. But we want to be immersed in learning. So if we've done anything right as parents, we hope and pray that it's been to instill a love of learning in you. A love of learning will take a child, in my opinion, to anywhere they want to go in life, because you can literally read your way. You can use study to create any world of your dreams. In fact, children that are brought up in negative environments, in tough circumstances, one of the big things that I've always said is a child can actually read their way out of any negative circumstance. It's not easy. It's very, very difficult, but one of the secrets is to crack open minds, limiting beliefs, negative circumstances, trauma. One of the things that's most helpful for sure is the reading of books. Wow, I didn't know we could do that. Wow, I didn't know that was possible. Good morning. And also, when you're reading books like that, you're all of a sudden it's like, wow, there's an example of somebody who came from nothing. Wow, there's an example of somebody who accomplished something, in a worse circumstance than me. So, not hard to tell I love books and newsletters, anything physical. The last thing I'll recommend to you is not only you're sharpening the axe every day. Make sure that you discipline yourself and set a timer, not on your phone. Get one of those kitchen timers that Daddy has so you're not checking a phone. And get your favorite chair in your home or your apartment or your dorm or wherever, and go someplace every day early in the morning. Can be the second thing you do, the third thing, but do it in the morning. And go to a place that's isolated where you can, it's solitude and you're not going to be interrupted or bothered, and read. And read great books. Read books on business, on marketing, read autobiographies, biographies, read fiction, read nonfiction. Read what speaks to you. And go where there's, good morning. Go where there's zero distractions. If there's distractions, one of my secrets is when things around me are distracting. Maybe we're on a vacation, or maybe, in my earlier days, I was, there was people around me. I would literally go in my vehicle, drive down to the park and take my lunch, and I would study in the truck or study in the car by the water. I've done that so many times where, I couldn't get away from time vampires or energy vampires, so I would just leave. The secret is to leave. I'd get in my vehicle and I would literally take my book, take my lunch, take my water, and I'd literally drive down to the lake or the river or the beach, or park in a field, or park at the park under a tree, have a cup of coffee, and literally sit in my vehicle and study. I shouldn't even be calling it reading. This hour per day that you need, it's studying, it's not just reading. You don't want to be just a casual reader. Like, you want to have your highlighters, you want to have your green Sharpies, your black Sharpies, your blue Sharpies, and you want to read with those white index recipe cards. I'm going to talk a little bit about that tomorrow, where the power of taking physical notes increases your retention by at least 70%. But for now, look at reading as studying. Don't just casually read a newsletter, or casually read a self-help book, or casually read a book on business, or on horseback riding or chess, or whatever you're reading. Make it a study. What I like to do is I like to read the whole book through once. Just read the whole book through. And then the second time I go through it, then I get out the yellow highlighter and I highlight every single thing that's important. And if it's really important, I write it on one of those white index recipe cards that Daddy has thousands and thousands and thousands of. And then every year, if it's a really good book, I reread that book. I have 10 books that I read every year. And there's a great theory that I agree with. It's better to read 10 books 10 times. So let's say in a year, 10 books 10 times. It's better for someone like you to read 10 outstanding books 10 times than it is to read 100 books. I could not agree with that more, because what happens when we get into reading 100 books, out of those 100 books, 80% of those books are going to be fluff. They're going to be filler. They're going to be ghost written. There's going to be a lot of fantasy sold as reality in those books. But if you can find 10 classics in any area, there's always 10 classics. There's 10 classics in marketing. There's 10 classics in business. There's 10 classics in chess. There's 10 classics in copywriting. And if you take those books and you read them 10 times, that's immersion. That's the difference between winning and losing. And you can read them, like I said, the first year, just read through it. Then as soon as you're done, go through it and take physical notes. And then every year, set a date to reread these top 10 books. I use it in January. As an example, I reread a lot of the Kennedy books in January, February, and March, including the books I just talked about, the 3 books. I reread Relentless once a year. That's the book by Timothy Grover, personal trainer of Michael Jordan, Charles Barkley, Dwayne Wade, Kobe Bryant, the late Kobe Bryant. There's just a handful of copywriting books, scientific advertising. I always read that. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. I always give that a read every year. So I've read that book 12 times. Sometimes I like to reread Tony Robbins' Awaken the Giant Within. Some of it's dated, but it's still an incredibly powerful book. So not only reading, but 10xing your reading. 10 books 10 times is better than reading 100 different books. So you read every morning. We have a rule in our home. It's not even a rule. I'm wrong. It's a standard. There's a standard in our house that you've grown up with, and I just said good morning to you. You were in bed reading when I left on this walk, and you're such a great personal disciplined kid. The first thing you do is you rise before 6 o'clock every day, and then you come in and you jump in bed with us, and you hug your mummy, and that's how you start your day. You get your energy, and then automatically you go back into your room and read for half an hour. I would say you probably read a minimum 10 pages first thing every morning. So it's not a rule, it's a standard. You love books, you love learning. But every single morning when I'm about to head out and do my road work, it just warms my heart to see you lying in bed reading. This morning you're reading a brand new book that came in the mail yesterday. But that half hour of reading before school is just, those 10 pages or 15 pages, whatever it is you read. Man, what an incredible, powerful way for you to start your day. And as you watch these videos as a teenager and young adult, I really, really hope and pray that you continue that habit that will serve you. That you make reading every day, real books, not anything on a screen. Get rid of the pads, get rid of the online reading. You don't need any more screen time. That you really take it to heart and read real books and read for a minimum of 1 hour a day. You're doing 30 minutes now. That morning session you're doing now before school. But what an amazing, amazing thing that is, you reading every single day. Remember, okay, leaders are readers. All the great coaches that daddies work with, all the great CEOs, all the great entrepreneurs, all the great mothers, all the great fathers, all the great leaders are readers. They're voracious readers, dedicated to their craft. They're curious about how other people win. They're curious about health and curious about nutrition, curious and fascinated with marketing and money, curious about anything to do with world building. Make sure that you keep that spark alive, grow it into a roaring fire, which it is right now at age 10, and just keep reading and reading. Reading will open doors for you. It will continue to crack open your mind to the possibilities of life. It will absolutely, it's been your dad's number one game changer. Reading for 1 hour a day uninterrupted. So that is my wisdoms for the day, and I know that you have already taken that to heart, and that you are already a dedicated reader. You love to learn. So, men, speaking of books, if you don't have a copy of my book, How to Not Get Your Ass Kicked in Business and in Life, you need to fix that problem. Leaders are readers. You can get a physical copy of my book at nobullbook.com. That's nobullbook.com. If you buy the book today, I'll throw in a black badass t-shirt, one of the exact t-shirts that I wear on my morning walks when I'm doing my road work. Hashtag badass. On the back of the black t-shirts, it says be relentless. Those are nice, expensive t-shirts. I'll throw one in free if you order my book today. nobullbook.com. Secondly, if you're looking to elevate your life, if you're tired, if you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, I used to live there. Sick and tired of being sick and tired. If you're done, if you're absolutely done with living a life of quiet desperation like the 99%, and you want to become an elite man, an elite husband, an elite father, an elite businessman and community leader, if you want to go all in on marketing, all in on family, all in on your physical and mental health, and all in on building a legacy, living a memorable life, not a forgettable life like 99%. If you want to move from not just freedom and control and independence, but building a world of personal sovereignty. Personal sovereignty to me is living life and doing business 100% on your own terms. Doing what you want, when you want, where you want, with whom you want, at the price and on the terms that you want. If that's not your world, apply now. Your seat is ready in my brotherhood, in my World Builders Brotherhood. It's a 12-month mastermind. It's 100% online. We meet every 2 weeks on Zoom. There's no traveling, there's no hotels, there's no airports. From the comfort of your home, we meet for 2 hours every second Wednesday, and we work on each other's businesses. You'll get one-on-one attention from me for an entire year. Plus, you'll get the support of your other badass brothers. They're all elite men, husbands, fathers, grandfathers. We've all shared the same travels and journeys and challenges. Apply at badassworldbuilders.com. It's expensive. It's $10,000. It's $9,997. I've kept that price so that more men can have this experience in the new year of 2023. But I'll be clear with you, that price is going up to $25,000. So if you want to get in with the beta group, the first year, my first year brotherhood of doing this, that $10,000, man, you got to grab that today. There's 2 seats left in the mastermind, 2 seats left to make 2023 the year that you go all in, No more toe in the water, no more pretending or excuse making. If you want this year to be the year that you went all in, as a marketer, as a businessman, as a husband, as a father, get in the best physical and mental shape of your life, and become a hero in your own home, your seat is waiting. badassworldbuilders.com. badassworldbuilders.com. We'll get on the phone and talk for 20, 30 minutes, see whether I'm the right coach. Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. See if this is a good fit for you. Maybe you are, maybe you're not. We make a decision. Either way, I'm good with it. I don't care whether you join the brotherhood or you don't, but if it's something that can help you and your life and help you build the world of your dreams, take a serious look at it. Apply now, badassworldbuilders.com. That's it. I told you 2 nights ago, Emery, how proud I was of you making that older ladies' day by dropping off those hand designed flyers at her door, and how great it felt to serve people, to help people, and to make a difference in their life. And last night before dinner, you and I delivered another 20 flyers to different areas, and I'm very proud of how you're starting to come out of your shell. You go up to adults and other people that are out walking their dogs. You introduce yourself, you smile, you make people feel good, and then you ask for permission to pet their dogs. I just love how you're starting to feel more comfortable speaking with people, and that's from toe-to-toe, belly-to-belly sales experience. So I'm very proud of the ambition you're showing. I'm very proud of that entrepreneurial spark that you're showing. I'm very proud that you want to make your own money here in Naples. And I'm very proud that you are compassionate and empathetic towards other people. Good morning. So that is it for today. This lady that I just walked by, we've been in Naples now for almost 2 weeks. You want to talk about a smile on your face, and not fake, authentic. This lady is out walking every day. She's clearly a retired person. And my God, everywhere I see her, she knows everybody in the community. She's always treated us incredibly well, but she's one of those people where she has an impact on your day as soon as she says good morning. And that's what I'm talking about. You don't have to spend money to change somebody's day or to help somebody. Just a simple smile, opening up the door, eye contact, introducing yourself, helping somebody get something down off a shelf, helping somebody load their car, whatever, helping a person, a child, whatever it is. It doesn't take money. It can be something as simple as thanking somebody who hands you your morning coffee. But it's really important now more than ever, manners and etiquette, and getting off that damn cell phone and communicating with people, and eye contact and smiling and speaking with people. Man, that's so critical now, that we keep that connection, that we get that connection back, that we've lost into technology. So critical, that connection with other people. So that's it for today. Good morning. That's it for today. 2 words that changed my life, and 2 words that'll change your life. Be relentless.